I have just finished installing the haul down system. So here's the main rope. It's bow lined around that piece, which is bolted in, but it goes up through to the swivel pulley. Swivel pulley is attached with a carabiner to another swivel pulley, which is the one that's on the Flemish Horse. Wow, that's interesting. It's really hard to get it started because the Flemish Horse is not very high up. So I'm at a disadvantage to start. But then once the arm is like level, the sliding pulley slides, and then it's just cake. See, this is difficult, getting kind of scary, and then, oh, there it slides. And then look at that. If I started the Flemish Horse up higher, it would be easier to start. And the limiting factor there is how far I can reach. Which I can reach higher up. $50, $60, $55, $76, $78, $80, $55, $55, holding steady. $70, $45, $70, $50, £45. So it comes down through this guy. So it's rigged to a disadvantage. We still have a 2-to-1 going. But what I'm gonna do is just put a loop in here. And then I'm gonna pull this with the scale, sorry. There's no windlass. 35 holding. £30. 25 pounds. 30 pounds. It's still kind of spiking up to 80 to get started. Yeah, that was an 80 spike. 30 pounds. 27 pounds. I'm pulling the tip of him off to the side. That's probably not good. 25 pounds. 22 pounds. There we're at full draw. Holding at about 26 pounds. 45. Spike to 50. Holding at 43. 40. 38. 50. 51. 45. 35. 34. Holding at 35. holding at 70, 72, 75. Alright, so what I've learned today is that a Flemish horse on the arm does not make pulling the arm down easier in of itself. In fact, on a machine where you don't need extra windlass stuff going on, it's better to just have the haul rope attached directly. And this is because the Flemish horse forces you to haul down the arm at a disadvantage for the first 90 degrees. When the arm is vertical, you're hauling on the shortest part, and you're basically like a 1-to-1 with the counterweight, which is insane. And that only changes once the arm reaches horizontal, because then it starts sliding out, and then you get your real advantage. So the last 45 degrees is really easy, but the first 90 is pretty hard. And this might be just because the nature of the friction on my pulley, because I thought that even when it's 90, I was thinking the pulley would slide up the arm and then start coming down just because it's easier up there. But the way I have it, it doesn't slide up the arm until it is horizontal. And I wonder if that's just a feature of how I've rigged this, and if I've rigged this poorly or something. But if that is representative of all Flemish horses, then the design gives you a massive disadvantage for like half of the wind down. And I think then in that case, the Flemish horse, its purpose is just to let you detach the haul rope so you can reattach it after the throw, because you need to have the horse low enough down that you can reach it from your ladder, because you're not going to go, in this case, you're not going to go climbing up the arm itself, because that's stupid and risky and would require ladder steps on the arm. So you're only going to climb up the frame to like the main axle and then whatever you can reach. So the Flemish horse has got to be, you know, climb up to the main axle, the highest point you can reach, click, attach on your pulley blocks, or whatever the heck advantage mechanical system you got going on. And I think that's why Viollet-le-Duc's drawing has this on it, is because he's using a system of pulley blocks and a windlass. And with his system, you can't just throw the haul rope over the axle and then, you know, shoot it, because you got a bunch of pulley blocks and shit going on. So the purpose of a Flemish horse is to let you use some sort of block and tackle system to haul down the arm, whereas the system doesn't let you just throw the haul rope over the axle. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you here, but basically the Flemish horse does not give advantages by itself, and it is a device to let you detach the haul rope and then reattach it after the throw. And you would only want to do that if you're using some sort of crazy pulley system. On my big machine, I don't need it because I'm winding that rope directly into the windlass. But here, I've got, you've seen the system, and with the system I have here, you can't just pull it loose and, you know, get it set up so that the arm will come around, because it'd be a mess, and who knows if you've pulled enough slack in it, yada yada. So you just have to detach it and then reattach it later, and that's what the Flemish horse lets you do. This is Scrappy the Ballista. Don't mind him. He's just hanging out. Let me tell you what I decided. I'm going to throw things, and what I'm going to use is the Flemish Horse and the 2-to-1. And this is because with the 2-to-1, getting started with the Flemish Horse, you're about 6s with just pulling the thing down conventionally straight from the haul down. If you don't have the 2-to-1, pulling it down conventionally is about equal as getting it started with the Flemish Horse, because the disadvantage of the Flemish Horse is equaled with the advantage of the 2-to-1. So the Flemish Horse and the 2-to-1, it's 6s when you start, but then once it starts traveling down, it gets easier. And so that is easier to pull down than pulling directly on the attachment point. The ideal, of course, would be if you use the 2-to-1 without the Flemish Horse and put it directly on the attachment point. But I can't figure out a way that I'm comfortable with to shoot the machine while leaving the 2-to-1 attached. Because I mean, I'm not smart enough to just figure out how you would drape that over the axle and not get a bunch of shit tangled. So that's where the Flemish Horse comes in. It lets you use a block and tackle system to pull down the arm, where you can detach the system for the throw and then reattach it for the haul down. And that's what I'm going to use. Now I could use a windlass like on the big machine, but it makes the haul down process a lot slower. I think we're going to load it. Okay, so he's got a 2-to-1 advantage.